the Yankees are officially the hottest team in baseball over the last 15 games. Argue with
11,
them all.
11-4, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, my God.
You fought well yesterday. Your style is unorthodox.
Scorpio.
Good morning, Yankees universe, and welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Thursday, August 28th. Like always, I'm your guy Hector, joined by the compañeros this morning. I got the lovely Grace Monroe, and I got my man, the Ace Avenue. And all you Yankee fans, wake up and get your coffee. How are we doing?
I'm Delulu up in this mug today. In my Delulu Yankees era. Hottest team in baseball, by the way. Hottest team in baseball. Carry on. Ace, how are you?
Okay.
And I'm doing wonderful. Glad to be here as always. I'm just drinking some water, like Hector always says. Drink your water. Don't hug your prospects. All that stuff. Let's go.
Absolutely. Like my guy Jimmy Randazzo loves to say, hug your girlfriend, not your prospects. We're drinking that morning water right now this Thursday, August 28th. Let's shout out the chat before we continue. One of the best, if not the best, communities out there on YouTube. Shout out to Anna Marie, one of the top moderators that are out there on the YouTube. Anna Marie, how you doing? Mi hermano de la isla, my brother Ghost is in the building. Ghost, how you doing? Salute, salute, salute. Shout out to Theo Nosebleed section as well. A little birdie told me he may not be in the chat, but he is watching. So shout out to Theo Nosebleed section. Always love you when you're watching us on the playback. Our guy Nathaniel Crenshaw is in the building. We got our good friend Tina in the building. Tina, how you doing? I hope all is well with you, sis. Salute to you. We got Dev Finch in the building. Dev, how you doing, my man? Salute to you. And then everybody who is watching us on TikTok, shout out to Mommy Keys. Shout out to Diego, Howard, the king for the hoops is in the building. Guys on TikTok, double tap that screen, drop a heart me. We are here to talk about the New York Yankees sweeping the Washington Nationals. And like Grace Monroe brought up, the New York Yankees are the hottest team in baseball over the past 15 games, going 11-4. You couldn't tell that by watching the Yankees timeline because fans are crashing out. Grace, I'll kick it over to you first and then throw it over to Ace. How you feeling?
Fans are crashing out. Fans are booing the Yankees when we're leading by 10 runs. I mean, pets' heads are falling off, dogs and cats sleeping together. Like, it is a total chaos. But I think it's a little bit, I think we need to, what's that song? I wish you would step back from that ledge,
my friend.
Everybody take a step back from the ledge. Things are going well. We can only play the teams in front of us. We can only keep putting one foot in front of the other and heading toward the postseason. And that's exactly what the Yankees are doing. Max Fried pitched a perfect no-hitter game into the fourth inning yesterday. I mean, is he back? Is our ace without Garrett Cole back? That would be huge. Ace, Hector, y'all cannot look me in the face and tell me right now that you're not starting to get a little bit of hope. Okay? You can't.
Go ahead, Ace.
Well, as far as Max Fried, yeah, absolutely. Because this is 2 consecutive starts, and we've seen a team that we struggle against and then a team that he's supposed to beat, and he went out there and absolutely dominated. As far as New York Yankees, like Grace alluded to, we're handling our business. It's as simple as that. You can only play who's right in front of you. Teams want us to beat the Red Sox, the Astros, the Blue Jays, and Detroit, but you can't play them until after this series coming up. So you have to continue to handle your business in a 4-game set versus the Chicago White Sox. And realistically, I want to take 3 out of 4. Because 4 out of 4 is very tough to do in MLB. A split, in my opinion, would be considered a little bit of a step backwards, but you got to take 3 out of 4. But you can only do what you got to do, and they did what they did with Giancarlo Stanton and company going off versus the Nationals.
I want to shout out some more people that are in the chat. Guys, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. My man, Jacob Petruzzi is in the building. Jacob, the fly guy, is in the building. Jacob, I hope all is well, my brother, with you and the family. D's channel is in the building. D, how you doing? Big time Jerry Cadell was in the building. We love you, Jerry. I hope all is well with you. I hope that procedure went well. Please shoot me a message and let me know. We got Miguel Sabadero, Saavedra in the building. Sorry about that. What up, fellas? Our Yankees are on fire. Let's hope it continues into the postseason. Miguel, I'm right with you. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to the Yankees that are out there. Again, make sure you guys are subscribing to my man, the Ace Avenue, on YouTube. Jacob, I appreciate you, like always, for dropping that into the chat. But like Ace said, when it comes to the Yankees competition that's in front of them right now, yeah, we swept the Washington Nationals. We're supposed to do that. The Washington Nationals have the second worst ERA in all of Major League Baseball. But I'm not going to sit there and not acknowledge the fact that this was the team that we needed to face when we just got beat by the Boston Red Sox 3 out of 4. We needed a series like this against the Washington Nationals so we could beat up on them, gain some confidence, and go into that series against the Chicago White Sox, who have been playing better baseball of late. Aaron Boone talked about that in the postgame press conference last night. And yes, the Yankees got a series with the Toronto Blue Jays that are coming up right afterwards in September to start the month. We got to focus on what's in front of us right now. If we're able to go into Chicago, take 3 out of 4, if not sweep that 4-game set, the Yankees will be looking good in their last 19 games, leading into that gauntlet that's going to be that beginning of September. It's just frustrating. It's just frustrating knowing that this is how we played, but we couldn't perform against the Boston Red Sox.
It's definitely frustrating, but I just want to point out, supplemental to what you're saying, the Mets lost a series to the Nationals last week. Last week. Not 2 months ago, not 3 months ago. Last week. So I just want to I'm not saying the Nationals are, a contender or they're a really good team. We should be super, super proud or anything. But we handled our business better than the Mets did last week. I'm just saying.
No, I get it. You got to be able to find that silver lining. Go ahead, Ace. My fault.
Yeah. I text my friend that's a Met fan. I'm like, how can we beat them, but y'all struggle? Is it that hard? And he just chalked up to just being a division game. He's like, it's division rivals. What can you do?
Yeah. Again, shout out to everybody that's watching us on TikTok. Lovely Luz, thank you for the heart me. Mama Keys, thank you for the heart me's. Brian on TikTok says, I love the Yankees, but until Boone and Cashman are gone, we won't win anything. And I think that's something that a lot of Yankee fans are sharing on the timeline. But looking in this series, or looking at the series that we just played, yesterday's game specifically, that third inning, and I want to start with that third inning. The Yankees scored 9 runs, and it was good to see. It was a breath of fresh air, I should say, to see the Yankees score runs without relying on the home run. Did we hit home runs yesterday? Absolutely. But we were able to score runs that came not via the home run, if that makes sense. Ace, what's your thoughts on that? And then kick it over to Grace.
That inning was incredible, to say the least. History, is... that's what it absolutely seemed like. That game was one of the weird games because, it started off with Trent Grisham getting us started, no doubt, right? Then having the bases loaded with nobody out, looking like the Yankees were going to, explode right away. Baseball, unfortunately, the Yankees didn't get it done, but 2 innings later is when they had a 77-pitch, 45-minute Max Fried didn't see playing time for almost an hour inning. That was crazy. That had, bombs away. The Yankees were going off, and it seemed like everybody was getting it going. Unfortunately, Anthony Volpe wasn't part of that hit parade. Unfortunately, the baseball gods continue to pick on him. He made 2 of the 3 outs in that inning. Will there ever be a day that we see one person make all 3 outs in the inning? I don't know. It didn't happen yesterday, but the slump continues. Yankee fans were actually booing him after the inning was over. And I'm like, how do we score that many runs in an inning and the boo birds are flying? But it was, to be fair, it was a very long inning, though. It was a long inning full of offense, full of a catcher injury, full of a pitching change. So it was a very long inning. I was looking at myself like, dude, this inning is still going on. Like, it's almost an hour. And then I was concerned that Max Fried wasn't going to be able to find it after sitting for that long, because that's virtually a rain delay. But he went out there and continued to shove, and he was flirting, like Grace had said, he was flirting with a perfect game with no hitter for the longest time. I know some of the umpires caught a little slack on that check swing that ruined the perfect game, but that's what the umpires do. That's what they do. But it was a great inning, and it was definitely phenomenal to watch and call.
I would say shout out to Anna Marie. I don't think I've ever heard Anna or seen Anna Marie with this type of take. Volpe is fill in the expletive with that one. Shout out to Anna Marie. I appreciate you as well. Big time Jerry Cadill with an update. The procedure was done yesterday, the MRI. I will let you know. Hector, thank you for the prayers. Much appreciated. God bless all of you. God bless you. Big time Jerry Cadill. But there's a gentleman on Twitter by the name of Hector Beauchamp. You guys may know him. But he put on Twitter yesterday, the slump rolls on for Anthony Volpe. 0 for 5 today. Now 1 for 37 over his last 11 games, including 14 strikeout. The only Yankee without a base runner in yesterday's board game. On the season, Anthony Volpe is batting .204 with a .662 OPS. The numbers look bad for Anthony Volpe. And when you expand more on the numbers and look into it more, Anthony Volpe is 4 for his last 50.
I can go even further, Hector.
Go ahead, Grace. Go further, Grace. Go down the rabbit hole.
Anthony Volpe, you said 4. Okay, so he was 0 for 5 yesterday. He's over in his last 24. He's 1 for his last 37. You said 4 for his last 54. But how about 34 for his last 223? That is a half of a Major League Baseball season and a 152 batting average.
Oof, that's
Those
disgusting.
are just the numbers. I mean, we could go on and on about Anthony Volpe, his record-breaking slump. It is awful. It is horrible. And the hatred that this guy is getting is to the level now, I think, of some of the most hated Yankees of the past. I shouldn't say hated Yankees. Some of the biggest letdowns of the past.
Yes.
And I think at this point, there is no possible way that the Yankees can continue to send him out there. You are feeding him to the wolves. If you believe in this kid at all, you must stop. You have, for his own sake, play Jose Caballero. Let Volpe start to build on something with less pressure situations. You are going to ruin this kid's career. I'm dead serious. This is egregious.
Yeah.
They just keep sending him out there.
It's bad. It's starting to get bad. And it doesn't help seeing George Lombard. Look, shout out to my man Enzo Cardona in the building. George Lombard Jr. is coming soon. It doesn't help Anthony Volpe with all these highlights of George Lombard Jr. in Somerset down there in the minor league system. Shout out to Los from Yankees Farm, who keeps on putting out amazing highlights of the Yankees minor league system. And it looks bad with Anthony Volpe. The numbers show you 204 batting average. The boos, I think that's the loudest that I've been at the stadium. When I was in the press box yesterday, that was the loudest that I've ever heard Anthony booed in person. There have been times that watching the game that it sounds a lot louder, but in person, that was the loudest I ever heard Anthony being booed while sitting in the press box.
I want to say something else. Everybody's bringing up the last 11 games, the last 38 plate appearances, right? He's had 1 hit, and we know all the numbers. We know he's breaking the record. Last time a Yankee position player had that record was 1901 in this amount of at-bats. However, there is a something in this. Yeah, correct. But there is a statistic in this little phrase that is more concerning to me, guys, and it's the fact that he has had 0 walks. His on-base percentage is .027 over his last 11 games. Let me say that again. His on-base percentage is .027. And yeah, he's had 1 hit in that amount of time, but no walks. The walks are the sign that your player is starting to see the ball, that he's starting to come around, that there's hope, that you stick with him, that he's going to put it together. He's had 0 signs of that. That is so concerning. He needs an extended rest. He needs a reset, not just 2 games and already tell him you're going to play on Tuesday. He needs a reset. He's got to have one, or else his career might be over.
Guys, if you guys can, always remember, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. On TikTok, Jay, thank you for the follow. Tony Alexander, thank you for the follow as well. My fault, Ace. Go ahead, brother.
No, you're good. You're good. Everybody, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe as well. Volpe is just it's frustrating because us as fans, right? The story's great. We all know the narrative, right? We don't want to dislike this kid, but the Yankees need to start saving him from himself because it's to the point where it's bad, guys. Like, when is the last time you've seen a player, let alone a top prospect like this, struggle this much? And he's in his own head. Now, some of it, in yesterday's ball game, he had a couple good he barreled up a couple of balls, but they were just right at somebody. Like, I was starting to think like maybe this could be turning it around. But when you're going through a slump, that's the type of stuff that happens. People make good defensive plays against you. It really feels like there's 20 guys out there fielding the baseball. It feels like there's, when you're in the batter's box, there's 20 baseballs coming at you at once, because that's how much this kid is struggling. I'm all for, like, especially like we are less than 30 games left into the season. Baseball is a marathon, but we are now at the sprint portion of this baseball season. We sit 4.5 games with the tiebreaker, 5.5 games behind the Toronto Blue Jays, who we still play them for 3. They are still catchable. With winning this series, this is why this series is huge, right? This series coming up is huge, and Caballero needs to play, because not only do you want to beat the teams like this, you also want to put added pressure on the Red Sox and Blue Jays, who you're now chasing as well, and we are a half a game behind the Red Sox. Caballero, I said this. As of right now, for this week, I would go 2-on, 2-off for Anthony Volpe. If he continues to struggle, 3-2. If he continues to struggle, 4-1. He has to get significant reduced playing time. Luckily, we didn't need his bat yesterday. Luckily, we also didn't need Giancarlo Stanton's bat. Maybe we don't need his bat this weekend, but I think the Yankees will continue to throw him out there against bad teams and hoping that he finds it, because they trust Caballero to just be inserted and get the job done. But realistically, you can't take these games for granted. You have to go out there and you have to save this player from himself, because, like, you can tell he's feeling the pressure, man. You can see it in his face.
Yeah.
He is wearing it. He is wearing it. And the only way to do that, the Yankees have to help him out, because guess what? It's too late to set him down. It really is. Like, Yankees wasted that opportunity. We've seen top prospects get sent back down, come back up, and get themselves right, but it's way too late for that.
I want to shout out my man Philo Ramos in the chat that he brings something up real quick I want to touch on. I'll toss it over to you, Grace. He says fans want Lombard Jr., but he isn't ready yet. He has an OPS of 672 in AA. Yes, Philo, 100% right. We're not hammering or calling for George Lombard because he's putting up amazing offensive numbers in the minor leagues. I'm certainly not doing that. I'm pretty sure Grace and Ace are not doing that as well. We're calling, or we're saying that we want to see George Lombard next season or as soon as possible because of his defense, right? You can live with the offensive production you're getting from Anthony Volpe if Anthony Volpe was one of the top 3 or top 5 defensive shortstops in Major League Baseball. He is leading all of Major League Baseball in errors, not just at his position. He is leading every position players when it comes to errors. And that's what you can't live with. You can live with George Lombard having a 672 OPS, if I'm not mistaken, if you're getting Gold Glove, if not close to Gold Glove defense. At least the bare minimum, not leading the pack in errors for all position players, not even your position. I think that's something that I, as a Yankee fan and as a Yankee content creator, do not think that Yankee fans should be okay with living with. A guy with those type of offensive numbers leading the league in errors. That should not be okay for Yankee fans. Sorry, Grace, go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just going to say, if you wanted to get him started by, hitting his way out of the slump, putting him out there against a bad team, you should have done that against the White Sox when we're playing in Chicago, not in the Bronx. Is it your first week on the job? Did you not know what was going to happen when you sent Anthony Volpe out there in the boogie down to strike out 5 times or to create 5 outs for your team? Did you not know? I think you knew. And if you didn't know, then you shouldn't be managing. That's it. And also, can I please bring up the fact that Clint Frazier and all these people have been going around saying that Aaron Boone makes a lineup and the analytics department makes a lineup, and then they have to kind of compromise and create each lineup every day. What analytics department is saying to play Anthony Volpe? I got some questions.
Mm-hmm. Also, too, I want to answer this real quick. Shout out to Balls in the Wall in the chat. Balls on on YouTube and on TikTok, I have linked pinned video. I interviewed George LeBart Jr. at the Future game, as well as Roman Anthony during the Yankee and Red Sox series over the past weekend, and understanding the difference of development. When you look at Roman Anthony was picked in the 4th round, and because he was in the Red Sox system and their scouting department, they were able to find Roman Anthony. He eventually turned into the number 1 prospect in all of Major League Baseball. When you look at Anthony Volpe was a kid that was on Team USA. He was a phenom when he was in high school. He was a child prodigy when he was coming up the ranks with Team USA when he was a prospect. And then he got signed to the Yankee system. And since his rookie year to now, he has regressed year after year after year. And like I said, I can live with Anthony Volpe's offensive production if he wasn't leading the league in errors, not just at his position, for every position that is out there, brother. So yes, I understand. How do I know will George LeBart Jr. Work out? I don't know if George LeBart Jr. will work out. What I can say is that when you look at Anthony Volpe, when he was in the minor league system, the scouting report on Volpe was always his arm strength. His arm strength was always a question when he was in the minor league system. When you look at the scouting reports for George LeBart Jr., you have some scouts that are saying if he was on one of the last teams or one of the worst teams in baseball, he could be a September call-up on his defense alone. So that's how I know George LeBart Jr. will be a better option defensively than Anthony Volpe. Offensively, the book is still out there. Sorry about that TED Talk, y'all.
We have a better option right now on the team, and they're not playing him. Jose Caballero needs to be the starting shortstop for the rest of 2025, period, end of sentence. The only time Anthony Volpe needs to be playing in the shortstop position is if they have to put Jose Caballero in the outfield or somewhere else to give somebody else a day off. Period, end of sentence. Are we trying to win or not? Pinch run him, exactly. Are we trying to win?
That's the only thing he's doing. That's the only thing he's doing solid in is running, is stealing and running. That's it. Like, that's his only solid attribute this year.
Yep.
So, but I mean, with George LeBart Jr. too, it's like, you know, I understand fans. This is the thing, and this is why we're stuck in this spot, because fans will start clamoring for George LeBart Jr. as early as next year, because he's not getting called up this September. But then if he comes up here and he's not ready, it's going to be the same thing we're doing with Volpe. How you're not giving these kids time to develop, so we're in this endless cycle where we just have to be patient. It's the same thing with Spencer Jones. Spencer Jones didn't get called up for a reason. The Yankees didn't. He had a small timeline that he could have got called up. The Yankees didn't think that he was ready, and then he did go on a little bit of a struggle, so maybe they did see something when it comes to that. The Yankee, like what Grace was talking about before, the analytical approach with Boone and the analytics department, maybe the Yankees will listen if they had analytics to tell you how bad their analytics were, because that's the only way that they would probably listen. For real. Like, you can't continue. Go ahead, Grace. You can't continue to do this.
I was just going to say, and I'll let you jump back in. I really want to know what analytics is telling them that Volpe is better than Jose Caballero and that they should start Volpe over Caballero. What numbers are you looking at? That's what I want to know, Ace.
Yeah, I want to see the same numbers, because okay, if you're looking at it like this, like, okay, Caballero could be valuable at the end of the game for a pinch running situation to get a stolen base, because we all saw that stolen base the other day. That was crazy. I've never seen anything like that. Him just taking off on, you know, and it was gone.
It was wild.
But if I can just interject, because having this conversation, right, when we're comparing or when we're talking about Caballero and Anthony Volpe, I remember when Anthony Volpe came up in his rookie year to start his career, he was 15 for 15 in stolen bases. Does anybody forgot? Did anyone forget that? Where did that version of Anthony Volpe go? Because that player is not here. That player has disappeared. Again, like I said, that stutter step that he had on the bases, that firecracker that was in spring training his rookie year when he won the job from Oswald Peraza, because a lot of people forget going into spring training, the job was Peraza's. Anthony Volpe won that job from Peraza in spring training because Peraza underperformed offensively and he got injured. That job was for Peraza to lose, and he lost it to Volpe. And what did Volpe do when he first started? In his first month of the season, a month and a half, he was 15 for 15 in stolen bases. That baseball player is not the same player we seen playing shortstop for the New York Yankees. You can say that his Gold Glove in his rookie year was a Disney Gold Glove because of Wander Franco and his stupidity. Copy. You can say that. But defensively, he has regressed from that version from last year and even now. Each year has been worse defensively for Volpe.
Hard to
All
steal
they
when you
keep
don't get on
saying,
base.
yeah, all they keep saying in the front office, Aaron Boone, front office, everyone, you keep hearing this narrative that nobody works harder than Anthony Volpe, right? James Rowson said that the other day. Nobody's working harder than Anthony Volpe. His work ethic, right? That's all we hear about. And when he won the job from Peraza, I think that had a lot to do with it. They were talking about how he was out there practicing and he was getting up early and he was staying up late and he was trying so hard, and we all bought into it. We were like, yeah, he wants it so bad. He's from Jersey. He's a Yankees fan. Okay, but let me have a little harsh reality check for everybody. Just because you try the hardest doesn't mean that you are good enough to play Major League Baseball. Just because if I go out every single day and I spend 4 hours out in the hot Texas sun playing basketball, I'm not going to be better than Cheryl Swoops. She's going to play over me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to turn. It doesn't mean, I'm sorry. I know you want it. I know. And guess what? I want to be a famous singer. Here I am singing Jason Dominguez on a Yankees podcast on YouTube. Okay. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a famous singer. Does everybody get what they want? No. Is it the end of their life? No. Does it matter if you work harder than someone else? Sometimes it helps, but at the end of the day, talent talks, bullshit walks, and unfortunately, Anthony Volpe, we've now come to a crux and a decision that has to be made. And unfortunately, my bro, I know you're trying hard, but unfortunately, we have a better shortstop option on the team right now, and he's got to start for the rest of this season.
I want to shout out some people in the chat real quick. I want to shout out my good friend Ella Falcone. Thank you so much for the gifts on the TikTok. Shout out to you. Salute, 3 capital S's. Dan the Car Man on TikTok. JR on TikTok. Appreciate you. Michael Morera says anyone could do better than him. And I think that's something we can all agree on. Now, I sent the invite, I sent the bat signal out to somebody that I know on TikTok. You guys aren't familiar with this person. His name, he goes by the name of Gio. He covers the Yankees. He's also a Miami Heat fan as well. Does a lot of NBA content. He saw us live on TikTok, and he was in the comment section like, I want to join the conversation. Gio, let me get a thumbs up. Let me know you're ready to rock out with us. Copy. So just to let you guys know, Grace, when we were live at the winter meeting, right? When we was there that weekend, Gio was live on TikTok and I joined this panel, and that's how me and Gio know. So we go back from the winter meeting. So I'm going to bring on my guy, Gio. Gio, how are you doing, brother? How you feeling?
I'm doing great. Thank you. I appreciate you guys, getting me on here. How are all of you right now?
Feeling good.
I love your name, Giovanni Rossello.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Also, nice to meet another fellow Yankee and Heat fan like myself.
Yep.
So there you go.
Oh,
there we go.
Yeah,
They
so we got some
next year.
We got some good stuff cooking. Shout out to Rob Merck on TikTok. I appreciate you. Gio, my man, you've been listening to the conversation. Obviously, you and we haven't talked in a minute. We're talking Anthony Volpe. We're talking the New York Yankees. Let everybody know, first off, where they can find you on social media. And also, give us your take when it comes to the team and the topic.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I'm on TikTok. My TikTok username is Giovanni.Rosello. So, basically, literally how it's spelled here. And it's Giovanni.Rosello. Or you could search me up as Lucky Gio2. I've had the Lucky Gio name since I was like in elementary, and I just figured I kept it. But it's either Giovanni.Rosello on TikTok or Lucky Gio2, either way. Because, they give you like 2 names and stuff like that. So, yeah, on the road to 10K.
On the road to 10K. I'm gonna put I'm gonna put Gio's TikTok in the chat. Make sure you guys give him a follow. But Gio, let's get your topic when it comes to the Yankees and Volpe, brother.
Yeah, so I think it honestly like goes down to this because it's Grace. So Grace was putting a great question out there of like what is the analytic team seeing in Volpe? Like why do they keep on playing him? And this is how I look at it. I think here's the truth of it. I've been saying this for years about the Yankees. It is a lack of accountability of why they keep on putting him out there. The more they look, every single time that they're putting him out there, it's them basically saying that we don't want to admit that we were wrong about Anthony Volpe, so we're going to keep on playing him. Because the second that we start benching him consistently shows that we were wrong about him. They did it with Josh Donaldson when they traded for him. They kept on playing him. They did it with Aaron Hicks. They did it with Gary Sanchez at the end of his run on the Yankees. They did it with J.A. Happ. It's like they Marcus Stroman as well, and now they're doing it with Volpe. It's just a lack of accountability from the front office. No analytics will say, yeah, keep on playing him for sure.
Yeah.
What's telling them is the stubbornness of the team, and that is holding them back.
Oh, 100%, Gio. You hit it right on head. My homie Castro on TikTok, I think you know him as well. He said, have any of you Yankee fans seen the left side of the Astros infield? It makes the Yankees infield, Anthony Volpe, look like a gold glover. We're talking about the situation happening in Houston. But yeah, Gio, I think that's something that
play like that against us.
I was about to say that don't matter against us.
Yeah, throw us a bone every once in a while. Damn. Okay, what I'm hearing is hit it to the left side. Got it. Thank you.
But no, Gio, you hit it right on the head. And this is something that former Yankee players like Clint Frazier, who is now out with his podcast, talking about the Yankees' structural the way that they are constructed internally and what they preach when it comes to analytics, when it comes to development at the minor league level. He was just talking in his podcast show yesterday, was a clip that I wanted to play later on, that if you're a player that on your third year in the minor league system, however he phrased it, when you're in spring training, besides baseball, the Yankees are giving you media training as well out of the gate. So he said it's kind of hard to play in that environment if you have to focus on playing baseball and being media savvy and going through media training in order to get past the reporters. And I'm gonna be honest with you, as somebody who works media at Yankee Stadium, Citi Field, it gets a little bit overboard when it comes to like the clickbait and sometimes with the articles that have come out there. I'm not going to drag anyone under the bus, but we talked about it with Peraza and that question that one of the beat writers asked Peraza about, oh, how do you feel about your career and the disappointment that you've been and so much pride? I think that was such a bullshit question to ask him, but that's just me personally. Grace, I'll toss it over to you and then kick it back over to Ace. Folks in the chat, keep on hitting that like button.
I don't think that that's necessarily unique to the New York Yankees exactly. The world, the climate that we live in now, we are on social media more than ever, obviously, and it's only going to increase. The amount of access that we have to the players is more than we've ever had before. True. We hear more from them. We see them, and we can follow them on Instagram. We see their wives, their children. Like, it's different. It's a different world now, and to ignore that would be malpractice. I think the Yankees are trying to give their play. I want to defend the Yankees a little bit and say they're trying to give their players the tools that they need to represent their organization well in this climate of media that we are in now, whether we like it or not. The only way to avoid it is to deny access from the media, and the Yankees don't want to do that.
Yeah.
How you feeling, Ace?
New York is a tough place to play, no doubt. Like, there are two types of players: people that can play here, people that can't play here. You know, that's the old adage when it comes to that. What Grace is saying as far as giving them the tools, like realistically, if they gave them the tools that mattered, which was the development, I think it would be like a lot less pressure on them, because like we're ripping apart Volpe, but you know, we could spread the wealth a little bit. Austin Wells is no better either, and we do have another viable option behind the plate in Ben Rice. So it's like, it's something that you're gonna have to go through. New York has its own pressures that even go down to, you know, the fans on top of that, and the organization as itself just desperately needs to figure out a culture at the end of the day, because that's the biggest thing. Like Giovanni knows, him and I are both Miami Heat fans. Culture's huge. Like that Heat culture is what they talk about. Like even when the team is struggling, you know that the culture will get you through. What is the Yankees culture? We really don't know.
I think if the Yankees weren't giving them media training, we'd be bitching. Well, they should give them media training. They need to help these guys out. So they're giving them media training, and people are still bitching about it. Like I think it's a stupid story, and it's a non-issue. Personally.
Yeah, I was just gonna say there's never a moment where Yankee fans collectively will be happy, because if one thing goes, other Yankee fans were like, well, they should have done this. I just want to take a second just to shout out everybody who was in the building. Yankee Knicks on TikTok, thank you for the follow. If you're watching us on TikTok, if you're watching us on Twitter or Facebook, click the link in the bio. Join us on YouTube, because on YouTube we're at 5,685 subscribers, on our way to 10K. So if you guys can give us a help, follow us on TikTok. Somebody pointed out this jacket, my homie Ella. I got this, my homeboy Dead Threads on Instagram makes custom pieces. We made one for Jazz Chisholm. The video is pinned in the comment section of my TikTok video. I mean, pinned in the comment, of the section, whatever, you know what it is. But moving gears, because we could stay on this Anthony Volpe topic the entire morning, right? But moving gears, I just want to switch topics momentarily, because there was another Yankee player that had an amazing game yesterday, and I think we need to talk about him, and his name is Sir Maximus Fried. And when you look at Max Fried, back-to-back starts, and something that I want to point out, Grace, the last time we talked about Max Fried, I was pointing out how he is favoring his right foot, or his plant foot, when he's landing. He's falling further and further to the third base side of things. So last time I was at Yankee Stadium, I was there for Max Fried start, and yesterday I was there for Max Fried start, so I could see with my own eyes. And guess what, y'all? He's not favoring or falling off to the third base side like he was before. Granted, it was against the Washington Nationals, but having Max Fried looking like Max Fried is something that the New York Yankees are going to need if they want to make any noise going into the postseason. Grace, I'll kick it over to you first, and then kick it down the line. Folks in the chat, let us know what you think. And like the Lulu Yankee fan said, the World Series is back on, y'all.
I don't care. That's what, yeah. I mean, Max yesterday was an incredible step, because it was his second start that he had strung together in a row where he looks like the Max Fried from the beginning of the year. It was exactly what we all wanted to see. So you could have written off his previous start as an anomaly, but now he's got 2 starts in a row where he looks in command, and he pitched 7 innings. Not only did he have an incredible arsenal yesterday, clearly his curveball is always looking nasty, but he pitched 7 complete innings yesterday. We only used 2 pitchers in the entire game. So it was just absolutely huge. Gave the bullpen a reset. Blackburn had to look his name. Blackburn came in and gave us the last couple innings there. And it was just what we needed and what we wanted. And I agree, Max is back, and we will win postseason games on the back of Max Fried. Count it.
Sir Maximus Freedomus. Go ahead, Ace.
Yeah, in order for this team to do well, we're going to need Fried to fire on all cylinders. It's simple as that. Like Hector, a couple, 2 starts ago, you and I were both talking about if he got shelled against Boston, that you might see a little phantom IL to kind of get the mechanics going, but the mechanics seem like they're kind of fixing itself. He's looked good against Boston, which was huge. He looked good against the Nationals, which is what he's supposed to do. So he went out there and absolutely delivered. Now he's going to have some time before his next start, because he doesn't pitch again until Tuesday with the off day and the 4-game set. So he should have plenty of rest. And the biggest thing that I liked about Fried is back-to-back quality starts is what we've needed, because we know that this bullpen has struggled exponentially, and a lot of us, like myself, including I'm only speaking for myself, don't trust Boone to manage the last 4 innings of the game. So Max has taken that out of his hands. Absolutely looks good. Like I said, the command, which was the biggest problem as of late, looks like it's there. And if Fried can be this pitcher, then the Yankees can go far. And Fried did his thing, but he didn't have to strike out that other pitcher like the old NL yesterday when the DH was out there. He really didn't have to pull out the nastiest curveball he's pitched all year against the pitcher, but he did it, and we needed it.
I'm just saying, I think that's payback, because didn't Anthony Volpe, wasn't he struck out by a position player in yesterday's game?
Yes, but speaking of position players, did you see that Oswald Peraza pitched yesterday for the
Oh, to
Angels.
Higashioka.
And
That's
Higgy took
hilarious.
him deep. Higgy didn't have to do him like that either.
That's
Oh,
hilarious.
man.
I want to keep the convo going. Gio, let's get your thoughts on the conversation, and we'll start pulling up some chats from people that are in the chat. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, for sure. I'll give my take on this, and then I'm gonna have to go after because I have
Copy.
to like do some stuff. I have because I'm gonna start streaming on my PC. Like literally next week.
Hey,
Yeah, I just got a PC. I'm gonna start doing that next week, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm definitely gonna need some help learning how to do that and set it up.
I got you, brother.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I got some people coming over to show me.
Because I'm still learning. I'm learning from Ace. Ace be helping me out, but I got you.
Yeah,
I'm learning from
perfect.
YouTube.
Thank you.
I ain't learning
Appreciate that.
shit.
That's like that meme where it's like, I did my part. I didn't do
Yeah.
it.
I didn't do shit. That's Grace. I didn't do shit. Go ahead, G.
It's interesting to learn about it. So yeah, like I'm loving seeing how Max Fried is doing. I've always looked at him as a more of a postseason guy. You know, after what he did, with the Braves, it was about like 5 years ago, right? With the against the Astros, right? When he pitched there, when he did his job, he's like I've always looked at him as more of a postseason guy, and seeing how well he has pitched this year in the regular season has really kind of blown me away. Same with Carlos Rodon. I think this rotation could be something special in October. Like we saw the Rangers win it without DeGrom and without Scherzer as well. I believe Scherzer was out in that postseason run, and we saw what they were able to do. So it's like if their rotation could do it, why not ours? You got Max Fried, who's pitching like an ace right now. Carlos Rodon, arguably pitching the best baseball he has had as a Yankee, in his time as the Yankees. And Kurt Schlittler, I'm like amazed by him. Like, oh my God, I'm a huge fan of him. I'd put him at the 3. As for Luis Hill, I put him at the 4. Like I trust Kurt Schlittler more in a postseason game than Luis. Like Luis's control is a problem. That is a problem. And the Yankees front office probably doesn't feel comfortable saying that because of the rookie of the year and how much time and dedication to his development they have put into him. But I put him at the 4. Like you got to do what you got to do to win. But yeah, Max Fried, back-to-back starts, he's back.
Gio, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for hopping on with us this morning. Again, appreciate you like always, my guy. Make sure you guys are following my man Gio. I put the link to his TikTok profile in the comment section down in the comments. Gio, let them know, like when it comes to your Yankee fandom, I know you're outside of New York City. Where did it start? Just give us who was your favorite Yankee growing up real quick before you get out of here.
Oh yeah, for sure. So my dad, he was raised in New York. He lived in New
Nice.
York for over like 20 years. And him being a Yankees fan, and then my grandpa from his side being a Yankees fan, it came down all the way to here because and he moved down here to Miami. And yeah, I grew up a Yankee fan. My favorite baseball player growing up, like not only on the Yankees but in baseball in general, was Alex Rodriguez. Loved Alex Rodriguez. I think skill-wise, top 3 baseball player of all time. I stand by that.
Yeah.
I stand by that.
Nice.
Gio, I appreciate you. We got to get you back on when you have more time to join us for a full conversation. Until then, you be safe. I'll see you out there on the mean streets of TikTok. All right, brother?
Thank y'all. Much love to everybody.
Appreciate you. That was our guy, Gio. Grace, pronounce his last name properly because I don't want to butcher it.
Rosselli.
There you go, Giovanni Rosselli. Shout out to my man Gio. Make sure you guys give him a follow as well. Guys, everybody that's on TikTok, if you guys can, keep on double tapping that screen. Hit that like button if you're watching us on YouTube. We got 41 people on YouTube watching us. We're sitting on 23 likes. So let's try to hit the like button, and let's try to bring up the likes as well. Now, back to Max Fried.
Okay.
Because talking about Maximus real quick.
Okay.
When you look at the way that the Yankees starting rotation is set up right now, Carlos Rodon, I think he's had his best season as a New York Yankee. When you have Max Fried as that number 1, Carlos Rodon as number 2, and then you look at who do you trust? Will Warren, Luis Hill, or Cam Schlittler? And to echo what Gio was saying, I trust Cam more than I trust any of those other 2 pitchers. I hate to say it. I know Luis Hill, he has looked better coming back from his injury, coming off the IL, but I truly believe and I trust Cam more than any of the 2 guys like Will Warren and Luis Hill, especially because every start he has gotten better and better and better. I may be hyperbolic. My Yankee bias may be blinding me right now or leading this conversation, but I just love what I'm seeing from young Cam.
Ace.
No, you're Dude, your excitement is warranted, right? Because young players can come up here and provide that spark. Look at what the Mets are doing across town with them bringing up their young pitchers, and it's kind of energizing them. That could happen over here as well. I'm gonna tell you this. I also kind of trust Will Warren more than I trust Luis Hill at this point. Luis Hill has better, more electric pitches, but the command can really be a problem, especially when it comes down to a playoff. But also, it's a predicament too, because you don't want that coming out of the bullpen as well. In the playoffs, you need about 3 to 4 good starters with the days off in between, that type of stuff. Hopefully, before we get then, maybe Luis Hill changed my mind because I'm a big Luis Hill guy. But what I saw from Hill his last start too was the velocity was down because he was trying to locate. But that's what he's good at, is the electric stuff. So it's kind of good and bad. But that's what you're going to need Max Fried at the top of the rotation to be able to give you, to be able to be that ace, to be able to pitch multiple times in a series. And we're going to need him to lock in. We're only going to go as far as Fried takes us when it comes to pitching.
Did you not freak out when the training staff came out with the quickness?
I did.
Oh, yeah.
We all did.
Yeah.
I was like, no. This cannot happen. This cannot. I mean, and then thank God he was okay. But hey, let's give a little shout out to the training staff for actually being on top of something for once.
Exactly.
Being preemptive about something for once, instead of letting him go out there and pitch with a broken leg, Mark Leiter Jr. Okay,
man,
so hey, maybe we're turning the corner.
I was gonna say I'm not giving them credit for doing their job, but shout out to Big N NYC with the $5 super chat, helping us keep the lights on over here at Uptown Sports TV. My man Big Ant says the analytic department is to blame for Sir Anthony Volpe instead of having him as a table setter hitter like Jeter, but instead focuses on launch angles with his swing. Big Ant, you ain't getting no argument from me. The Rails Bill podcast, he said this: until Schlittler can go more than 5 innings, he ain't ready to face top tier team. We will wear out the bullpen. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I disagree.
His last 2 starts, he pitched into the 7th inning and he pitched 6 innings. Am I wrong for saying in his last 2 starts? Am I off base by saying that? He has pitched past the 5th inning and his last 2 starts, one pitching into the 7th inning and his last one pitching 6 innings complete. My man Ace doing his best impersonation of the man in the chair.
He went 6 and 6 2/3. Those are quality starts. As simple as that. Like, I disagree with what Real Bill was saying, especially in the playoffs. Like, because you're gonna need, with the bullpen that we have, go 5 or 6. You know what I'm saying? For a young guy like that, going 5 in a postseason, with the stuff that he has, and just flip it right over to the bullpen, I'm okay with that. But like you had said, Cam, he's starting to get stretched out. It's as simple as this. Like, Cam and Luis Hill, if you think about it, haven't been up here that long. So it's kind of like what Lorenzo was saying for Luis Hill. This is his April. It's kind of the same thing with Cam because he's only had a handful of starts, but he's definitely produced in that time frame. And the stuff that he's got, dude, he hit 101 the other day. Like, he's got electric stuff. And like the use, I was very impressed with the use of his secondary stuff, because when you got 101, guys are trying to barrel it up, because you can't just have a high velocity pitch, because guys will be all on top of that. But when you mix in the breaking stuff and the changeups is when you can throw guys off balance.
My man Gator, I love this man's profile pic. Shout out to Gator. Are we jumping the gun on Cam versus trash teams? Worried about him against electric bats. And I understand that. I get what he's saying. To me, I do not remember the last time the Yankees developed a starting pitcher. We had glimpses of it from Luis Hill, but to see Cam Schlittler 3 starts in a row look the way that he's looking, maybe the Yankees can find lightning in a bottle and have that starting pitcher help carry your rotation in a postseason like other teams had in the past. I'm pretty sure when the Giants, when they first went on that run, winning 3 championships in 6 years, that first year they had a very, very young Tim Lincecum that came up and helped carry that team. I'm not saying Cam is going to be the same person like Tim Lincecum, but you understand what I mean with when it comes to the comparisons.
Well, he only gave him 2 runs against Houston too, guys. So, like, you can't just say he's only playing bad teams.
Yeah, I feel like Cam gives up the long ball, like, only. I don't feel like he gets hit a lot, When he does get hit, it's a home run. It's giving Garrett Cole. It's giving a young Garrett Cole. And I don't just throw that around. You know, Garrett Cole is my favorite and my boy. But it's giving a young Garrett Cole. Unless Cam Schlittler is facing the New York Yankees, who hit more home runs than anyone else by far, I still trust oh my God, I said Garrett Cole. I still trust Cam Schlittler. Do you know what I mean? If he gives up the long ball every now and then, but nobody's on base, like, we can hit our way around that and win the game. I feel like Will gives up more hits, I feel like, than Cam. Luis Hill is coming back. I think he's getting better. I think he's on the upward trend, and I think he'll be hitting his stride right as we enter the postseason, I hope. So I have hope for Luis Hill. I like what I've been seeing. I think he's trending well. I still like Will Warren a lot. But Cam has such an upside that is so vicious. I kind of lean to Cam just a teeny bit, but I still like Will. Rodon's having a career year. Max Fried is our ace without Garrett Cole. So I think our rotation is set up for success.
I am guilty of being a New York sports fan, right? Which means, Grace, I live in the perpetual world of what have you done for me lately? And when it comes to Cam Schlittler, what he has done lately, he has been phenomenal. And LI Yankee King, the only troll that we acknowledge is LI, and I'm the only person that can pick on LI. But LI says Schlittler in his last 3 starts, the 25th, he won 6 innings. The 20th, he won 6 2/3. And on the 13th, he won 5 innings. And I think that 13th start was against the Houston Astros, 5 innings, 2 runs. I may be off by that one. But, Grace, I would have put Will ahead of Cam if I didn't get that last performance from Will. I still have that sour taste of that disgusting performance against the Boston Red Sox still stuck at the back of my throat. I was there for that game too, which fucking sucked as well. But when it comes to that performance from Will Warren, I never seen a pitcher look that bad, especially against the Red Sox. That was a bad performance by Will Warren, and you could just tell that he was on the mound waving the white flag, like, please just get me out of this game. I don't even want to pitch anymore. And I've never seen that type of attitude from Will Warren.
I just think that the matchup was what Boston does well, Will doesn't do as well. And so I feel like if Cam, I don't know, I feel like Will is susceptible to small ball more than Cam. Does that make sense? So, like, teams that play small ball better, maybe you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I still like Will Warren a lot.
I do as well. I'm just going off for the last, like I said, I still have that bad taste of his last start in my mouth. Big Ant NYC with the $5 super chat. If the Yankees are smart, I will use Hill as a super reliever coming out of the pen postseason. They did this with Phil Hughes back in 2009, and that actually helped them.
Also, didn't the Yankees have 4 errors behind Will Warren that game or something? They weren't helping him.
Yeah. Okay.
Was that the same game?
I'm not sure. Okay. I got to look at the box score on that one.
Yeah, I got to go back and look as well.
All right, all right.
What day was that?
Ace.
Was that Friday?
Put a pin in that.
I think that was Saturday's game.
Yeah, well, to Big Ant's comment, I mean, this is a popular take where everybody's like, put Hill in the bullpen. You're not gonna, with a guy with command issues, you're not gonna put him in the bullpen because, like, in those high leverage situations, you need guys that can throw strikes immediately.
That's true.
You know, for him to come out here and start walking the ballpark is when innings get away from you, especially like how Boone likes to use his bullpen guys. He'll give his starters a little bit of leeway, and then all of a sudden you got runners in scoring position, bases loaded. You want to say 2 on, 1 away, runners on second and third. Do you really want Luis Hill coming in the game and start walking people? Because I don't. I definitely want to see that. You want to see a guy like Fernando Cruz who, you know, just came back, you know, who looked pretty, he looked okay. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he was finding himself. Definitely had a very memeable moment too, which was going crazy. Everybody's going crazy over that. But you need guys that can come out there and instantly throw strikes like Duvall has.
With inherited runners.
Exactly. Like Duvall struggles with his command as well. Like Luis Hill kind of reminds me that like that could be Luis Hill out of the pen. Can hit 100, but if it's out of the zone, all you're going to do is walk the park. So.
Yeah. I think we want a bullpen that can come into the game with inherited runners and get the strikeout, get the end of the inning, get out of it, right? Not somebody who continues to walk people or isn't as reliable, can't find the command, and perhaps he has to come in a bases loaded situation and he gives up a granny like Mark Leiter Jr. did the other day. Mark Leiter Jr. is so. Honestly, raise your hand if you knew there was going to be a grand slam. Raise your hand if you knew there was no way in hell Mark Leiter Jr. was going to get out of that inning without giving up at least one run. If you're not raising your hand, you have not been watching Mark Leiter Jr. this season. He is so bad with inherited runners. If he comes in a clean inning, it's like 50-50. He's not consistent. But with inherited runners, forget about it. Hey, like my New York friends say, forget about it. It's true.
The opposite of that has been Tim Hill. Tim Hill's been decent. Tim Hill's come in high leverage situation. Came in with the base load the other day and got out the inning. So that's what you need. You need guys. And the Yankees value, honestly, the Yankees value swing and miss type stuff. But sometimes, you got to trust the defense behind you. But we know how that goes.
True.
At any point in time, we can make 4 errors. So
Tim Hill is so goofy, jumping around on the mound too. Jumping, you know what I'm talking about?
I also as well, Grace. I looked up the box score. There was only 1 error in that game.
In the Will Warren game.
Just 1 error. Yeah. So I was trying to help you out with that silver lining. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat.
He doesn't feel comfortable with the infield defense. That puts pressure on him for every single pitch. If he does,
100%.
If he can't feel comfortable pitching to contact to get outs, it runs up your pitch count. It runs up the stress. It runs, everything, and it snowballs. So I'm still going to defend him.
No, I got you. Folks in the chat, if you guys can hit that like button. We're sitting on 25 likes on the live stream. If you guys can hit that like button, let's try to run it up as close as we can to 50 on this live. I want to take a pause for 1 second because I was able to talk with Red Sox rookie Roman Anthony when they were in town over the weekend. I have one portion of that interview. I want to play it real quick before we jump back into the next topic and continue this Yankee conversation going. So if I can just share the screen real quick, just give me 2 seconds. Here it is. 1, 2. What's up, guys? Hector Bochan with Latino Sports, and we're here with Roman Anthony. Roman, how you feeling today, brother?
I'm feeling great. How are you?
Doing good. It's not as cold or warm. It's a little perfect temperature right now.
Yeah, it's good baseball weather, that's for sure.
And I want to ask you, yesterday was your first big league game, if I'm not mistaken, playing in Yankee Stadium. How was that? And did the Yankee faithful live up to everything that we know of?
Oh, they exceeded expectations. It was amazing. I got to play them at home my first week, but it didn't feel, everything was super fast that first week. I had just debuted, so now being settled in, getting to come here and play it felt a little different, but it's great. Getting to play right field last night with the people in the bleachers and their fans out there. They're great fans, and they were on me for sure. But it was fun. It was a fun time. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, shout out to the bleacher creatures. I'm pretty sure it was very PG, right? What they were saying.
Yeah, we'll say it was PG. For sure.
Again, shout out to Roman Anthony for that conversation. Great young man. And I'm just going to say this right now. As somebody that's both a Yankee fan and somebody that works media, seeing how he was interacting with the other media members and with the young kids that were there at Yankee Stadium, the Boston Red Sox, they got themselves a franchise player. They got themselves a guy that when it's all said and done, you remember when Jeter, his last game at Fenway, what did the Fenway faithful do? They stood up and they gave Jeter a round of applause. And that's a class act. Roman Anthony, I'm not saying he's going to have the legacy of Derek Jeter, but when it's all said and done, I can see Yankee fans, when it's time for him to retire, if everything goes right, standing up and giving him a round of applause the same way they did for Jeter. He's a great young kid.
Well, good for them.
I'm right there with you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just by myself then.
I'm sure he's a great guy. I'm sure he would be even better on a different team. He definitely left his mark early on this rivalry, no doubt. I'm not mad at him though, because Roman Anthony is a guy that we want Jason Dominguez to kind of pan out to, like as far as getting the faith from the Yankee organization early and just getting thrown out there and becoming that as well. So in a little way, I'm a little jealous that how they handle him.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say one thing about Jason Dominguez, by the way. I didn't get to say this earlier in the show. Jason Dominguez had a hit from both sides of the plate
Talk on it.
in the infamous bottom of the third. Both sides of the plate. I don't see anybody talking about that.
No,
That's all I want to say. Just
or
shout out
like
to
you
Jason
and I-
Dominguez.
Or like you and I talked about when Cody Bellinger fell asleep in that inning that gave it the first run. Me and you were talking about if that was Dominguez, boy,
Please. Oh,
you would have heard
man.
it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, you saw Aaron Boone have a conversation with Cody Bellinger in the dugout, and that got blown out of proportion because everybody's like, you see, when it's time to talk to people, he's talking to Cody Bellinger, but he's not going to have a conversation with Anthony Volpe. What I'm so sick of Yankee fans wanting to see Aaron Boone give Volpe a fucking wedgie or something. Like, what do you guys want? What do you want? What do you guys want? Ed? What do you want
They
Boone
like a
to do to
noogie,
Volpe?
like-
Yeah,
Yeah.
you want him to give him a noogie, put him in a headlock, and just give him a noogie? Come on, what are we talking about over here?
I want to
Go
bring up
ahead.
something. I want to bring up something that I thought was really, really cool. I wrote it down. They mentioned it in the broadcast yesterday when Grisham hit the home run. It was his 25th of the year. And with that, this is the second time now in history that the Yankees have had an outfield with all three members hitting 25 or more home runs in the same season. That's the problem for Jason Dominguez, okay? And I'm a big Jason Dominguez fan. Y'all know I am. And I think he's the future, and I love him. But Trent Grisham, Cody Bellinger, and Aaron Judge are now officially the second outfield the Yankees have ever had, giving them this level of offensive production. The last time the Yankees had this level of offensive production from the outfield was 1941 with Joe DiMaggio. With Joe DiMaggio, okay? So, I mean, it's just the circumstances that are coming together that are reducing Jason's playing time. When he has playing time, you're seeing glimpses of absolute glory. This kid is so talented, okay? And we are gonna see his day. He is gonna have his time to shine, okay? And when he gets his chances, like I said yesterday, he got a hit from both sides of the plate. He steals bags. He's smart base running. I mean, he's fast. He brings energy. He's such a great all-around player. Like, he could be a 20-20 guy for sure. He could be a 30-30 guy eventually.
You know what's scary about that too, Grace? We have like a whole month. Let's say it's August 28th. So basically, we have a month and like a couple of days left. Giancarlo Stanton can hit 25 home runs also.
Oh, thank you for bringing up Giancarlo Stanton. I'm ready to talk about him.
So let's talk about Giancarlo Stanton.
Giancarlo!
Li leaves the chat.
As Li leave the chat, shout out to Li Yankee King. Hector is Yankee fans. They are stuck in the 90s. So, of course, they want 90s bullying tactics in 2025. Li, I think Li Yankee King is ageist. He does not like anyone that was born before or prior to 9/11 happening. That's the issue with Li Yankee King. Go ahead, Grace.
Giancarlo is absolutely making a claim to being a future Hall of Famer right now. What we're watching in his age 35 season is the best month of his entire career, and that is an MVP career. That is an all-star MVP career. That is an ALCS MVP career. That is, I mean, this guy's going to hit 500 home runs. He's hit more home runs than Jason Giambi. He might catch Lou Gehrig, and that's just the numbers, people. Argue with the wall. Giancarlo, in August of this season, has a 981 slugging. 981 slugging. A 1.464 OPS. That is the highest OPS and slugging of his career. These are insane numbers. Also, Giancarlo hitting 1.239 OPS with runners in scoring position. The best runners in scoring position hitter in the American League. That's the numbers, people. Argue with the wall. Giancarlo, over his last 11 games, has hit 7 home runs, 2 doubles, 5 singles, and a 1.219 slugging. That's the numbers, people. Argue with the wall.
Hit the bell.
I was about to say, also what he's not doing, and I'll kick it over to Ace to get his take on that. He's not striking out. And that's the thing with Giancarlo Stanton. We are seeing a version of Giancarlo Stanton that is spitting on that breaking pitch that's low and away. And I hate to bring this up, right? But again, I'm going to reiterate the same way how I said, and Jacob, you're a clown. You're hilarious. And just like I talked about it on Tuesday, the way that they are using Giancarlo Stanton, I know a lot of Yankee fans wanted to see him in yesterday's lineup. I get that. I understand that. Day game after a night game, you're not going to see Giancarlo Stanton, especially in the outfield. The way that they're using Giancarlo Stanton, using him 2 days in a series, sitting him on the third game of a series, especially before an off day before a road trip. This is the perfect way to use Giancarlo Stanton, because Stanton has admittedly said that he's a better hitter when he's playing in the outfield. And we're seeing it with Giancarlo Stanton playing in the outfield 2 out of the 3 games, even if it's in right field, even if it's horrible defense. Offensively, he has given you more than he has ever gave you as a DH.
Yeah, I think Aaron Judge is struggling from that too. Because like they say, look, DHing is hard, man. It's hard to get within the ebbs and the flows of the game if you're just sitting on the bench, right? Players say it all the time because they've been taught since Little League that you're out there, you're in the game, you're not just sitting there. But Giancarlo Stanton is the exception when it comes to that. He's a great DH, comes in this year pinch hitting, does his damn thing. If it wasn't for Giancarlo Stanton, we lose to the Nationals 1-0. He scored all 5 runs. It's as simple as that. He knocked in all 5 of them. He's him. Like the things that he's doing right now, I'm gonna tell you this. I would even go as far as maybe giving Judge a couple of days off, a day off from DH and here or there, just to get Stanton's bats back in the lineup, because Stanton is hitting better than Aaron Judge right now. He's getting 500. People were saying like he's not going to do it. He's going to get 500 and he's going to get into the Hall of Fame. Giancarlo Stanton is in postseason mode, and the way he's hitting right now, he could carry us.
Yeah, and shout out to Jose Medina. I need to get this on a T-shirt because this rhymes, and it's kind of like that Shannon Sharp Lakers in 5. So Rice over Wells, Caballero over Volpe, Jeter, Leiter Jr. to Mars. This should be very easy to implement. No, 100%. Rice over Wells, Caballero over Volpe, Leiter Jr. to Mars, Lakers in 5. 100%. I definitely agree with you, Jose Medina.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, I'm y'all know I'm done with Wells.
But he had a home run, Grace. He had a home run, though, Grace. He had a home run, Grace. He ain't like the home run?
Let me ask you guys something, because I put this on a poll, right? Who's hitting under 200 first, Wells or Volpe? Volpe's at 204, Wells at 206.
I saw that. I was in the press box when you put that. I like audibly like laughed like like that. I would say Volpe because Wells had a home run. Volpe's batting under 200 first.
I hit Wells so fast, my phone was spinning around in my hand when you put that poll up. I hit Wells right away.
Yeah, and it just goes to show you, like, those are 2 guys that the Yankees were, well, they were really high on Volpe. Wells, but it just goes to show you, and it makes you appreciate Ben Rice more, like, because of what he's doing. Because Rice is hitting the ball hard. Like, the bad luck seems to be a little bit out the window because some of the hard hit balls aren't getting caught. Like, he had the longest home run in his career this series. So thank God for him. He needs to catch every day. So I agree with Jose. Rice over Wells.
When
Rice
you look
has
at
had a more traditional path to the major leagues. It's almost as if that's the way. Long time in AAA. He came up for a while. He went back down for a while. He came up again. He earned a starting job in spring. Now he's building on that. It's a classic major league player's path, not like Volpe or Wells, where they just come up and whatever.
I got some stats that back up everything we're talking about when it comes to Ben Rice. Since August 1st, in the 22 games that he has played, he has 87 plate appearances. He has a .311 batting average. He has a 402 on base percentage. He has a 635 slugging percentage. He has an OPS of 1.037. He has a WRC plus created of 183. And when you expand on his stats and look where he ranks among qualifying first basemen, he has a 133 WRC plus. Do you know where that ranks him among first basemen in all of baseball? What do you think that ranks Ben Rice?
Third.
Five.
Wow.
Fifth. He's a top 5 first baseman. He is 6 in home runs. He is 4 in slugging with 497. He is first with ISO batting average of a 251 batting average, and he has a 418 WOBA. Shout out to the people who love the WOBA, but when you look at qualifying first baseman, he is first when it comes to WOBA.
This is since when? What is this field?
No. These statistics, I gave you the stats from him batting since from August 1st, but everything else that I gave you are for the season. Everything else I gave you is for the season, where he ranks for the season.
Wow. Yeah.
And
listen,
they're playing him part-time.
Yeah, listen, I love Paul Goldschmidt, okay? I really, really do. But I think that where we are now in the season, I think Paul starts the game on the bench, okay? Either Cody or Rice at first base. Paul can come in late in the game as defensive replacement. We move Cody to the outfield, take Jason out, that's fine, or whatever you want to do. And Paul can hit against lefty pitching, who he crushes. We can utilize that bat. We can execute that tool whenever we need to. But he's got to be playing off the bench now. I mean, we've got 2 great options on the team besides him.
I'm going to say this real quick. I'm going to say this real quick, and I need to get this made at a t-shirt, because if somebody steals this, I swear to God, I'm going to murder somebody. Ben Rice's nickname is Benny Blanco from the Bronx. If anybody's seen the movie Carlito's Way, all right, John Leguizamo's character, when he was asked, what's your name? I'm Benny Blanco from the Bronx. That is Ben Rice. Benny Blanco from the mother-loving Bronx. When you look at Ben Rice, do you know what Ben Rice shares? He shares something with Aaron Judge that he doesn't share with Volpe or Wells or Dominguez. Do you know what that is? Anybody? When he was in the Yankee system, he had no hype the way Aaron Judge had hype. Because when Aaron Judge was a prospect, Luis Severino was supposed to be the next Pedro Martinez. Gary Sanchez was supposed to have Manny Ramirez power from the right-hand side of the bat. That was the hype when it came to the Yankees minor league system. Aaron Judge, you know what I was calling Aaron Judge when he was a prospect? I was calling Aaron Judge a love child of LeBron James and Blake Griffin. That's what I was calling Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge had no hype when he was in the Yankees farm system. And that's the same thing with Ben Rice. Ben Rice was on the backfield playing baseball at a high school when the Yankees head scout found him, because that head scout was going to attend a music recital. And when he was at that music recital, somebody told him, hey, there's some college kids that are taking BP that they missed a season because of COVID. Maybe you want to go take a look. And David Oppenheimer went over there, looked, saw Ben Rice, called up someone immediately from the Yankees and said, we got to sign this kid ASAP. And now he's raking with the Yankees. My fault, Ace. Go ahead, bro.
No, you're good, man. Ben Rice is, as the steps that he's taken, like Grace is saying, who would have thought that developing these kids the right way could actually pan out? Like it's like that. Also, you got to give credit where credit's due. L.I. Yankee King has been a big Ben Rice fan for the longest time, so he's batting 100 on his takes. So just batting even 100. But yeah, I mean, Ben Rice, dude, like he needs to be our everyday catcher, in my opinion. Like what Grace was saying, I'm okay with the belly, and okay, this is considering that Aaron Judge gets back to full strength, right, and is in right field. I would absolutely go Bellinger first base, Rice behind the plate, Jason Dominguez in left field, and Grisham in center field, because Grisham has earned that everyday playing time, especially when you're in the postseason. When you're in the postseason, you can't be experimenting. You need Caballero at shortstop. You need your best players out there. You can't just say, what Wells and Volpe cannot be in the lineup at the same time, let alone back-to-back, because that makes it a black hole inning unless Volpe gets out in the third, gets the third out like he did pretty much all of yesterday. He ended the inning like almost every time. But Those two guys can't play. The best 9 players need to play, and Ben Rice, as of right now, is one of our best 9 players, if not one of our best 5 players.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally agree.
Again, when it comes to Ben Rice, the gift that keeps on giving, right? I just hope when it comes to Rice and when it comes to Caballero, you have options at both positions that are hurting your team. That's shortstop and that's catcher. I understand defensively, you could say Austin Wells has a little bit of a leg up on Ben Rice. Copy. I'll give that to you. But if you're trying to put the best team on the field to win you the game, what stats are you looking at that are telling you that that Anthony Volpe is a better option over Caballero and Austin Wells is a better option over Ben Rice? Because we're looking at the stats, and Grace loves to point this out. When Caballero is the starting shortstop for the New York Yankees, we are undefeated. We are 2-0. When Ben Rice is in the starting lineup, this Yankee offense goes, whether he's at first base or whether he's at catcher, whatever the Yankees have to do to figure out a way to make sure that Ben Rice is in the lineup on an everyday basis, they need to figure that out ASAP.
I think Rice is getting better too behind the dish. He gunned out some runners the other day. He actually catches pop flies, unlike Wells. That is one of my biggest pet peeves ever. Y'all don't even know.
Yeah.
If you watched a Yankees game with me, you and Austin Wells was catching, you would hear me screaming at him to take off his mask. He never takes off his mask when he needs to make a catch. He drives me crazy with the shit. I'm serious. Ben Rice rips it off. I'm like, thank you for playing catcher.
That's catcher 101.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway, y'all, let me not.
Woosah, Grace.
I was a catcher. First thing they told you to do, rip off that mask and throw it as far as you can.
Exactly.
First thing. He doesn't do it.
Thank you. Is let me not even say the LAZ word.
Woosah, Grace. Woosah, Grace. Let's switch gears before we get ready to get up out of here, because we got one more topic that we need to talk about, and that is El Capitan, number 99, Aaron Judge, JP Yankee fan girl. She put this out there. I'm gonna read what she says, and then I'm gonna kick it over to Grace and Ace to get their perspective before I chime in. But this is what she says. She says, "Look," and shout out to her, amazing Yankee fan, amazing content creator as well, JP Yankees girl. Make sure you guys follow her on Twitter. She says, "Look, I mean, absolutely no disrespect to Kyle Raleigh and the numbers he's putting up, especially as a catcher. But if Aaron Judge was the beloved Mike Trout, the Kyle Raleigh discussion wouldn't be a thing. You want to die on the hill over a 9 home run difference. Y'all hate the Yankees. Change your mind. You can." Grace, Ace, I'll kick it over to y'all. What's your perspective on this?
Yeah. Cal Raleigh leads Aaron Judge in home runs by 9, okay? He's having an incredible season, a great year, breaking home run records for catching position and everything else. That's awesome, okay? Aaron Judge, even with his IL stint, is leading Cal Raleigh in hits by over 20. He is almost 100 points higher. Almost 100 points higher in batting average, almost 100 points higher in on-base percentage, almost 200 points higher in slugging percentage, 200 points higher in OPS, and 60 points higher in OPS plus. And that's with an IL stint. He's also got almost 2 full points of WAR more than Colorado. Yeah, thank you for bringing this up. Yes, exactly. I'm killing myself trying to do math in my head. Here it is. So, are you asking me who is hitting the most home? Is it the home run award? I mean, because if you want to name it the home run award, we can have a different discussion. Cal Raleigh deserves maybe to win a Silver Slugger this year, but the most valuable player is Aaron Judge, and he doesn't deserve to be punished because he's on a good team. I heard someone on Twitter say, Cal Raleigh, if the Mariners didn't have Cal Raleigh, they wouldn't be in the playoffs. If the Yankees didn't have Aaron Judge, they'd still be in the playoffs. And I'm like, okay, Does Aaron Judge get punished for being on a good team? Just because you're the best player on a bad team, you win the MVP? Then Paul Skeens should win the MVP every year. But he doesn't, okay? So get out of my face.
Ace, let's get your take on this conversation. Folks in the chat, let us know as well. How are you guys feeling when it comes to this conversation that circles around Aaron Judge and Cal Raleigh? Ace, my man.
I was trying to look for the creator that was that put this comparison out there. I forget who it is, so I'm gonna say it verbatim. The narrative matters at the end of the day. Like the last time a catcher won was Buster Posey. And despite the fact that Ryan Braun had very similar numbers to what we're seeing on this chart, as far as the greens versus the whites, not the numbers of Aaron Judge, like as far as more numbers in his favor, the narrative absolutely does matter at the end of the day. Kyle Raleigh, like we had, like you guys had alluded to a couple days ago, like we talked about, is doing things that we haven't seen from a catcher, let alone a switch hitting catcher on top of that. And I think baseball cares about the narrative. And there also is anti-Yankee bias. We know what Aaron Judge had to set the all-time AL home run record just for him to even nudge past Ohtani. Like, we know at the end of the day, the story matters. And I think that's what baseball is ultimately going to go to. I think Aaron Judge should win the MVP, no doubt. But I think Kyle Raleigh is going to win it.
Now, the reason why I'll let you guys go first is because I differ from both of your guys' argument. I love Aaron Judge. I love me my New York Yankees. I understand the conversation that is around the most valuable player. You have to factor in every component into the conversation. And one thing that we're leaving out of this conversation is the fact that, yes, Grace and Ace, you guys both brought up the fact that he's a catcher. Absolutely. He gets some extra brownie points. But why he also get extra brownie points is he is the best defender in the American League as well as being a catcher. He's a platinum gold glove winner. I mean, he's a platinum glove winner. It's not just like he's just an offensive catcher and that's it. He is a platinum glove winning catcher in the American League. He is the best defender in the American League, not just at his position as a catcher, but out of every other position player as well. And if Aaron Judge was having a season that you can say, hey, Aaron Judge is leading his position when it comes to defensive numbers, he's not. He's up there, but he's not leading the league or leading his position when it comes to his defensive numbers. So like I say, I love Aaron Judge. I think Aaron Judge is putting up a phenomenal offensive season. But I think what Kyle Raleigh is doing, hitting 50 home runs, being the catcher for the best starting rotation in all of Major League Baseball, being the best defensive catcher in all of in the American League, because I haven't looked at the numbers in all of Major League Baseball, but I know in the American League, he's the best defensive catcher. And you have to factor in all of that into the conversation of MVP. And I think that's why the beat writers will vote Kyle Raleigh over Aaron Judge, because they're factoring the defense and they're factoring the fact that he is the catcher for the best starting rotation in the American League as well.
Look, Raleigh can win the regular season MVP. Let Judge win the World Series MVP. That's all I can.
There you go. Same. Ace, Grace is like, oh God, I want to punch somebody.
No, I don't. I think Aaron Judge will win MVP by this much. That's what I think will happen. I think it's going to be close. I think if Aaron Judge finishes this year healthy, back in the outfield, he's got to get back in the outfield. If he gets back in the outfield, let's say he finishes with, let's say 57 home runs. No, not 57. Hold on. Wait, how many is he at? 40. Wait, how many?
Judge is at 41 home runs right now. Kyle Raleigh is at 50 on the season.
Let's say Judge finishes with 47. I think I meant 47, not 57. 47 home runs or 50 home runs somewhere out there, and he gets back in the outfield. I believe Aaron Judge will win MVP over Kyle Raleigh by this much.
Okay, all right. Listen, I want to live in the reality that Ace laid out for us. Kyle Raleigh wins the regular season MVP, and Aaron Judge is the World Series MVP. But folks, we're gonna get ready to wrap things up. The Yankees are off today.
Mm-mm.
Grace, no, wait,
White
what?
Sox. 4-game set versus White Sox.
Yeah,
Oh
we
yeah,
start-
4-game set. We start today. For some reason, I thought that they was off today and they traveled today. No, we start a 4-game series with the White Sox. I'm off because I'm working the Liberty game later on tonight, so that's why I was a bit off. But let's get your predictions. How many games are we taking against the White Sox? Grace, you start first, and then toss it over to Ace.
I think we'll take. Is it 4-game set?
4.
Mhm.
I think we'll take 3 out of 4. But I wouldn't be surprised if we took all 4. The Yankees are hot right now. Hottest team in baseball. Hey, that's the numbers. Argue with the wall. So, with our bullpen being able to get reset over the last couple of games, not having to use our A bullpen, much less, just giving everybody such a rest, I expect them to tear it up. And I hope that they do.
Go.
I agree.
Go ahead. Ace.
3 out of 4 because 4-game sweeping a team is very difficult in baseball.
Very hard.
It really is. We're throwing everybody but Max Fried out there this weekend. 3 out of 4 is the minimum for me. If we split, I'm going to be severely disappointed, especially heading to this gauntlet that we have coming up after our day off on Monday. This is the time that this team, continues that needs to get right. Because like Grace had said, this is the best team in baseball as of the last couple of weeks, and it can continue here with the smooth 4 games. If we go out there and sweep, great. You're taking a lot of momentum into the 12 games.
Yeah. Shout out to Jose Medina who says, "Great show. Let's go Liberty." Also fire. Yeah, 100%. Listen, I know this is a Yankee show. I'm a Yankee content creator, but being able to cover the New York Liberty and the WNBA are phenomenal. The New York Liberty are the defending WNBA champions. They've been dealing with injuries this entire season, but just to let you guys know, when they finish the game with Brianna Stewart, JJ, and Sabrina, they are 10-0 going into the postseason. So it's going to be a nice little postseason run for the New York Liberty. But no, I got to agree with both of you guys. Sweeping 4 games out of a 4-game set is already tough to do. Asking a team to do that on the road and your visitors' ballpark is also a tough thing to do as well. I know the White Sox, they've been the punching bag of Major League Baseball over the past couple of years, but the White Sox over the past couple of weeks, they've been playing above 500. They've been playing solid baseball. Make sure you guys keep a lookout for Joshua Palacios, former Pittsburgh Pirate. He is a Brooklyn kid, one of my homies. He plays for the Chicago White Sox, and I'm calling it right now. He's hitting a home run against the Yankees. I'm letting you guys know right now. I don't know what game it is, but Palacios is hitting a home run against the New York Yankees. He is a lefty hitter, and he wants to show out playing against the Yankees. I think the last time he played the Yankees, I think he had a home run as well, I think with the Pirates, if I'm not mistaken. But folks in the chat, appreciate everybody for tuning in. My guy, L.I. Yankee King, Enzo Cardona. Enzo, it was great seeing you as well. Jacob Petruzzi, I appreciate you. Hector was in the building. We got big time Jerry Cadill. My brother TC Stills is in the building. TC, I hope all is well.
TC, see, this is why you get the negative rap. Come on, TC. Come on.
TC needs a hug. That's what it is. Shout out to my brother TC Stills. Shout out to Theo Nosebleed section as well. Double A who wasn't in the building as well. Everybody who has supported us and who has followed us. Shout out to the baseball aficionado. He's on the TikTok chat right now. A dope content creator. I'll make sure to try to get him on. Amazing guy. I catch him at the Mets games a lot. Ace, let them know real quick where they can find you later on tonight because you will be calling the game. Let the people know.
You can find me at the Ace Avenue for your Yankee covers, movies, and more. I do a live play-by-play every day of the New York Yankees, 7:40 start time for this 4-game set. That is, this is the series that is, to quote Aaron Boone, right in front of us. So you can't look ahead to what's going on. You have to handle your business versus the White Sox. Big weekend, especially considering the Blue Jays are playing the Brewers this weekend. So this could be a chance to gain some ground and inch a little bit closer. And I'll be on the call.
Yes. Shout out to my brother Stephen B as well for being in the chat. Like always, Jacob Petruzzi just dropped the link to the Ace Avenues pod. Ace, I appreciate you as well for making yourself available. I text Ace like at 2 o'clock in the morning. I just sent them a picture of the bat image, of the bat signal. That's all I did.
That's hilarious. And I was like, copy. I showed up like Batman. He's like Detective Gordon. I'm like, I'm ready.
Hector, can we leave it with the video of Staten Island?
Oh yes, the Staten Island. I opened it. I literally had it home. I have it right here to play. So yeah, we're gonna leave.
Roll that as the end.
Yeah, we're gonna lead with the Staten Island. Give me 1 second to share the screen. Again, a great episode. Appreciate all of you guys, but we will be rocking out with the Stanton Island.
Hey, I'm Giancarlo Stanton, and I play baseball for the New York Yankees. When I first came to the Big Apple, I fell in love
Oh
with
my
Manhattan,
God.
the Bronx, Queens, Brooklyn. And I have to say, while I work in the Bronx, my favorite borough to visit is Staten Island. I mean, people from Staten Island are so nice. Staten Island pizza, the best. Skyline views from Staten Island, breathtaking. And the Staten Island ferry. I mean, it is free. I'm Giancarlo Stanton, and I love New York, especially Staten Island.
You fought well yesterday. Your style is unorthodox.
Scorpio.